why is it that Jewish people have to monopolize this term of Semitism? Because Semitism is not a Jewish-specific thing. The Semitic languages are more than Hebrew. Arabic is a Semitic language. There are African languages which are also Semitic. So I find it absurd and actually racist that it is only the Jews that get to use the term Semitism to describe themselves. For example, as Arabs, I am an Arab. One person I was speaking to in Piers Morgan's show, his name is Unholy Shmoli, and I was speaking to him and he said, "You're an anti-Semite." I said, "I am more Semitic than you," because he is from European extraction. In what world is it okay for someone to call me anti that which I am, which they themselves are not? Now we have people who are European Jews who come from Europe, okay, coming to an Arab like myself who speaks Arabic, and they tell me I'm anti-Semitic. I say, you are racist that you call me this. You have no monopoly on Semitism. No monopoly whatsoever.
This is why history can never be finite. History is alive and history is infinite. Because when you look at the history of things, you get to understand certain things. You get to understand why things happen, and then we get to revise it and make it closer to the truth of what a thing is. So his question, why are Jews the only ones considered to be able to use the term anti-Semitic? It wasn't even a Jewish person who came up with the term of anti-Semitic. It was actually Wilhelm Marr, who wrote a treatise or an article. He was a journalist who wrote an article on how the Germans can overcome the Judaism and overcome Germans who have become Judaized. And in that, he began the Anti-Semitic League. The interesting aspect of it, this was in Germany. This was concerning the European Jews who had adopted the religion. This was not in concern with true Semitic people. So who are some of these Semitic people that are still alive today and should be able to utilize the term anti-Semitic? And yet it's going to surprise some of you that many of the people that we have issues with as a country are actually Semitic people. One of those groups, and the main group, are the Arabs. Yes, the Arabs, no matter how you slice it, Arabs are a Semitic people. Semitic means that it's a common language. It is a language form, kind of like how many of our languages today are Latin based. The languages that are Semitic based, this would include the Akkadians. This would include the Cush, well, it does include the Cushite people. It includes the Canaanite people. If we're looking at ancient times, Canaanites, Akkadians, Assyrians, it includes all of these people, Phoenicians. And who are the descendants of these people? Who can we find the DNA and the language that has spurned from these people? Well, when you look at the Phoenician people, then you have to say that the people of Libya and Syria are Semitic. You also have to say that the people, since the Phoenicians left and went and colonized Tunisia, modern-day Tunisia and Libya, then the Tunic people, they are Semitic people of a Semitic language. These includes also Arabs, right? Because of the language, because Semitic is not a race, Semitic is a language. So that would include the Arabs in North Africa, the Berbers. This also includes the Egyptian language. The Egyptian language is also a Semitic language, so that would mean the Egyptians are Semitic. The Cushites are Semitic because they descend from the Canaanites. So since the Canaanites are Semitic, then that would make the people of Nubia Semitic, which is modern-day East Africa, Ethiopia, those countries, Somalia, they would be Semitic people. Also, since the Arabic language is a Semitic language, that would include all the people from the Arabian Peninsula and throughout the Arab world, which they integrated also with the Nubian people, the Ethiopian, the Axumite people, which makes them all Semitic. Now, this also includes the Akkadians and the descendants of the Akkadians, which is the oldest form of Semitic language. That would include the people of Iraq, the people of Iran. This would also include some of the people in Anatolia, the Turkey. And some of the people in Italy can be considered Semitic because the Maltese language is also a Semitic language as well. So when we research these things to look at it in the more modern day and to revise history to be more accurate, then the use of this term should be utilized with all these groups. So when you hate Arabs, then you are being anti-Semitic. When you hate East Africans, you are being anti-Semitic. When you hate North Africans, you are being anti-Semitic. So this term actually has a very wide base, but because of what was occurring in the 1700s, the late 1700s at that, we're talking about 1770s, 1780s, because of the German emphasis on anti-Semitism of Caucasian Jews, the term got wrapped around just those folks. And of course, with the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler, it got thoroughly entrenched in those people's into that group of people. But the term itself was misused. It is pseudoscience to think that it is only for those people. And if the Anti-Defamation League was truly concerned with anti-Semitism, then it would not only be concerned with the Jewish people, but it would be concerned with the negativity around Muslims, the Arabs, the North and East Africans, as well as a few Europeans and people in Turkey and Iran and Iraq, which would also include mostly Arabs. So this is why history is alive. This is why you cannot look at what history says in one instance and think that that is the totality of the history. But by understanding the politics and the powers that be during different time frames, you get a better understanding of what it is. And if these groups were truly concerned about anti-Semitism, they would include all Semitic people, not just the ones that look like them. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.